Do you love your school? Yes. Do you love your school sports teams? Yes. Do you think that school athletes should be paid for what they do on the field or the court? Hmm. If you said yes, here's why you were wrong. Here's a few of the facts. Though it's true that there's a lot of money coming into some college athletic programs, there's just as much money going out. And in most cases, these programs are functioning at a loss. Auburn Athletic Department, for instance, posted a $17 million deficit in 2014. Only 23 of the 228 Division I schools running their programs in the black. And when you imagine the cost to build facilities like you see here in Provo, you can understand why that's the case. And think about it. If you wanted to pay these student athletes, how would you do it? You could try to do it by what their program is bringing in for the school. So let's compare college football, which brings in more money than any other sport, and college bowling. Obviously, college football bringing in a lot, whereas college bowling actually runs at a loss. So what if you paid all the athletes equally? Then they couldn't function. Things wouldn't work. So either way, there isn't enough money to go around. Furthermore, the NCAA would cease to be a nonprofit company if athletes got paid, which means they would need to get paid and there would be less money to go around. More money for them, less for schools. So your school might go from looking like this to looking more like this. College athletes are compensated in non-monetary ways, and sometimes that could even be done by scholarships that equal hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they're lucky to be able to play even though they're not getting paid. But you don't have to take my word for it.
It's SportsCenter 5 2-minute drill, sponsored by Direct Energy.
What we all need to do is either stop talking about paying college athletes or start talking about paying college athletes.
It's SportsCenter 5 2-minute drill, sponsored by Direct Energy.
What we all need to do is either stop talking about paying college athletes or start talking about paying college athletes. Usually the conversation starts with someone saying how unfair it is that college athletes don't get paid. Someone else saying, well, they're getting a $250,000 education for free. That's kind of like getting paid. And the conversation continues with variations of vagueness, and it goes nowhere. So let's stop doing that and start delving into specifics, because it's the specifics that lead you to the obvious conclusion that it's ridiculous to consider paying college athletes. How much would you pay them? Who's them? Are we talking about paying all college athletes, like the ones who play tennis, golf, water polo, volleyball, baseball, and who run track? Or are we just paying the perceived moneymakers from basketball and football? And are we paying them all the same? Or does the quarterback make more than the receiver, who makes more than the right tackle? Do football players make more or less than basketball players? Do players from Ohio State make more than players from Boston College? If so, how much more? You need to be prepared to ask and answer these questions if you're in favor of paying amateur athletes. A study released 2 years ago showed that only 20 of nearly 1,100 college athletic programs make money. That's because while big-time college football and basketball make a university an average of about $3.3 million, all the other sports programs lose lots of money. Football and basketball subsidize water polo and cross country. You start paying football and basketball players, you put other sports in jeopardy, or you start raising tuition for all the non-athletes, which brings me to a final point. We not only shouldn't pay college athletes, we shouldn't give them scholarships either. Why would someone earn an athletic scholarship to an academic institution. I love the idea of financial aid helping lift kids up, but I hate the idea of a rich kid who can throw a football getting a free ride. Let's start having that conversation.